Chapter 61 Choice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the Academy, there is a clear distinction between aristocratic soul masters and civilian soul masters. The leader of the civilian soul masters is Yinan Tian, while the leaders of the noble soul masters are Davis and Dai Yaming. But in addition, the noble soul master also has a leader. Davis and Dai Yaming lead the noble soul masters in the empire. And many noble soul masters in kingdoms and principalities also have a leader. It was Lan Yuxuan in front of Dai Yao. On Ferdinand's order. Dai Yao was confused. Why would a crown prince obey the orders of the bishop of Wuguan Palace? But after thinking about it, he understood. In the original work, the basis for the establishment of the Wuguan Empire was all the kingdoms and principalities outside the two empires. There are still decades to go before the establishment of the Wuguan Empire, but establishing the empire does not happen overnight. In order to establish an empire, Wuhandian should have made efforts long ago to win the support of many kingdoms and principalities. I am afraid that many leaders of kingdoms and principalities have already obeyed the orders of Wuguan Palace, and Lan Yuxuan must be one of the kingdoms attached to Wuguan Palace. Yes, in order to avoid being noticed by the power of the empire, Bishop Ferdinand has no way to come in person and can only send me here. After taking off his hood, Lan Yuxuan has a handsome face, sharp eyebrows and starry eyes, blue hair shawl, and an elegant and noble posture. Seeing the seat, he frowned at first, then helplessly took out a handkerchief from his arms, put it on the seat, and then sat down. Every move he makes is simply a textbook for aristocrats. Did you study at Yuxian? Dai Yao couldn't help but complain. Lan Yuxuan was startled for a moment, and then resumed his smile. However, compared with the polite smile just now, there was some real feeling now. That's right, your highness fourth has good eyesight. I did study in Yuxian of the Heaven Dou Empire for a while. Since I came to the Star Luo Empire, no one has ever guessed. How did your highness know? It's just a casual comment, you don't have to worry about it. Dai Yao just said it casually, but he didn't expect that he got it right. As far as your every move, even the most demanding nobles can't fault it. In this Douluo Continent, besides Yuxian, where else can we train a talent like you? Although Dai Yao verbally admired Yuxian, in fact, he didn't think Yuxian was that great. If Yuxian was really powerful, why couldn't he establish a normal outlook on life for Tang San, especially Dou Er, who actually created Wang Dong'er and Wang Qiu'er, and even interfered with Wei Yuhao's normal married life? In the final analysis, Yuxian is just a training room for the nobles, and it only teaches the doctrines and manners of the nobles. Lan Yuxuan looked at the surrounding environment and praised, I was also present at the battle that His Highness the Fourth Highness fought not long ago. After watching it, I was really shocked by His Highness. Judging from His Highness's living environment, His Highness's hard work is unprecedented among many noble soul masters. It is inevitable that he can achieve today's achievements. After both sides exchanged polite compliments, they finally got to the point. After His Highness left the Star Luo Empire, did you decide where to go? Lan Yuxuan asked. Tian Dou Empire. Lan Yuxuan smiled and said, Your Highness must be here for the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition. Yes. Dai Yao nodded. Lan Yuxuan pondered for a while and analyzed. Since His Highness has chosen to go to the Tiandou Empire, there are some taboos that I must explain clearly to His Highness in advance. You say. Lan Yuxuan replied, First of all, with your Highness' strength, no matter which Soul Master Academy will rush to get it, but your Highness, you need to choose an academy that has the hope of being promoted. Secondly, as Prince Xingluo, your Highness needs to avoid the following 6 academies, namely Tiandou Imperial Academy, Shenfeng Academy, Blazing Fire Academy, Elephant Armor Academy, Tianshui Academy, and Thunder Academy. Why is this? Dai Yao asked. Needless to say, the Tiandou Royal Academy belongs to the Tiandou Imperial family. As Prince Xingluo, I'm afraid it would be inappropriate for you to join the Tiandou Imperial family's academy. I don't recommend that your Highness go to the other 5 academies. Compared with the Star Luo Empire, which emphasizes balance, the Soul Masters of the Heaven Dou Empire pursue the limit. As the name suggests, it is to develop Soul Masters in a single direction as much as possible. From the names of the colleges, we can know that these colleges only recruit soul masters of a single element. Thus, although these academies are capable of advancing, His Highness does not need to waste time in these academies. Dai Yao nodded, confirming Lan Yushuan's statement. So what are the options now? Lan Yushuan smiled lightly. Apart from these 6 colleges, there are Lanba College, Oakland College, Sanhui College, Purple Star College and Flame Radiance College. Among them, Sanhui Academy is quite strong and has a Soul Saint-level expert who personally teaches it. Lanba Academy's strength is better than the others, and it seems to be somewhat related to the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Sanhui College and Lanba College have an important space in the original work. In Sanhui Academy, this strong man of the Soul Saint level had recruited 7 disciples of Gem Martial Souls and used the 7-in-1 Martial Soul Fusion technique. If Tang San hadn't possessed the Purple Demon Eye, he would have been overturned. Dai Yao is not interested in this academy, and Lanba Academy is more familiar. It is the predecessor of the future Shrek Academy. The founder is Lu Erlong, the illegitimate daughter of a high-ranking Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus Rex, but Dai Yao has no intention of joining Lanba Academy at all. He doesn't want to mix with the Shrek 7 monsters. If he had such an idea, he would have already gone to Barak Kingdom to replace Dai Mubai. What about the other 3 colleges? Dai Yao asked. Lan Yushuan replied, Flame Radiance Academy, as the name suggests, is also an academy dominated by fire-type soul masters, and its strength is far inferior to Blazing Fire Academy. Therefore, the academy has to recruit some commoner soul masters. The Purple Star Academy doesn't have any enrollment restrictions. As long as you pay enough gold coins, you can enroll. Therefore, the strength of the students varies. They belong to the bottom of the academy I mentioned, but they also have the strength to hit the promotion competition. And the last one is Oakland Academy. Oakland Academy is the most powerful. In the last Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Tournament, it almost broke into the promotion competition and pulled down an Elemental Academy. And most importantly, they have a genius Soul Master. In order to train him, the Academy deliberately gave him a place to participate in the last elite competition. According to his age, he can still participate in this competition. Dai Yao was surprised. Participating in 2 Soul Master Elite tournaments is not a simple matter. First, you must have enough strength, and second, you must be young enough. Originally, Dai Yao was still struggling. If the academy he joined did not have enough excellent teammates, it would undoubtedly be much more difficult to advance to the All-Continent Soul Master Classic competition. In this case, I believe in the credibility of Wuguan Palace, and I will go to Auckland College in a few days. Dai Yao stood up, stretched out his right hand, and made a handshake. Your Highness, don't worry. With me in the Wuguan Palace, the journey will be safe. Lan Yushuan held Dai Yao's hand to dispel Dai Yao's worries. God bless the Spirit Hall. Lan Yushuan said piously, the transition in a few chapters will be a bit dull. All of the above colleges are colleges mentioned in the original book. Chapter 62 Changes in Chaos Qinglian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The academy has been very lively these days. The 5-year Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition has just ended. The Xingluo Royal Academy team won the championship, and the whole country celebrated. The academy was so lively, with lights and colorful decorations everywhere. Commoners and nobles alike celebrated this historic moment together, which completely overshadowed the excitement of Dai Yao's duel a few days ago. In the original book, the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition was held 3 times in total, with Wuguan Palace winning 2 times and Star Luo Empire winning 1, presumably the one to win is this one. In order to prepare for the next competition, Xingluo Royal Academy has been preparing candidates early, and now they are almost ready. The team captain is Davis. The Xingluo Royal Academy team that won the championship happened to return to the academy today, and the number of senior soul masters in the academy suddenly increased. Many soul masters and even soul sect powerhouses appeared. Apart from this, there was another thing that caught Dai Yao's attention. Dai Mubai disappeared. He no longer pretended to be drunk and paraded around the academy with the twins in his arms. It seems that he has left the Star Luo Empire. Dai Yao couldn't help but think of what Dai Mubai said to him when he visited in the dark night a few days ago. We will meet in the Tiando Empire. Then we must have a good fight with you Shrek's 7 devils. Dai Yao thought excitedly. After talking to Lan Yuxuan, Dai Yao closed the door to thank guests and never saw anyone else again. Let Feng Wudong bring him 3 meals a day, he estimated the time, and another day passed. 3 days have passed since the duel with Dai Yaming. Counting the day of the duel, there were only 3 days left before the 7 days given by Dai Hengyu. Dai Yao sighed and could only hope that Zhu Zhuqing could come back as soon as possible. I stood up facing the waterfall, looked around and found that there was no one there, so I entered the waterfall and came to the cave. After so many days, he finally had time to look at his other martial soul, Chaos Qinglian. When she got her first soul ring, Chaos Qinglian somehow got a soul ring of her own. Dai Yao regretted this point and sighed endlessly. After all, the most outrageous thing about twin spirits is that when one spirit is used to reach the title Douluo level and a spirit ring is attached to the second spirit, the spirit beasts hunted are all over 50,000 years old. The Chaos Qinglian martial spirit has completely lost this advantage. Now that he has reached the level of a great soul master, I wonder if there have been any changes in Chaos Qinglian. Soul power surged, and a green lotus appeared on his left hand. The green light exudes a majesty that makes people dare not look directly, making people want to worship. The moment the chaos green lotus appeared, the plants in the entire cave grew wildly. Within a few breaths, the entire cave turned into a forest. The vegetation is so dense that it can grow so lushly without sunlight, completely violating the laws of plant growth. But Dai Yao is no longer surprised by the magic of Chaos Qinglian. The chaotic green lotus slowly rotated in the hand, activating the soul power, and 2 soul rings actually appeared around the green lotus. 2 purple soul rings. Purple is long, noble and mysterious. Dai Yao almost made a sound in shock. 2,000 year soul rings. In other words, Dai Yao's guess was right. Chaos Qinglian could indeed generate soul rings on its own. When he originally wanted to put Earth-walking Dragon's 1,000-year soul ring on Chaos Qinglian, he was obviously disgusted by Chaos Qinglian. There was no second soul ring for him to absorb at that time, so it could only be the soul ring conceived by Chaos Qinglian himself. Could it be that if I continue to practice, the Chaos Qinglian martial spirit can still give birth to a 10,000-year soul ring, or even a 100,000-year soul ring? He thought in shock. Breeding a soul ring is such a terrifying ability, but Dai Yao is already used to it. He is now more and more certain that this Qinglian is the legendary Chaos Qinglian. At the same time, he also noticed that the first 100-year-old soul ring had become a 1,000-year soul ring. Dai Yao took another breath. This Chaos Green Lotus can not only breed soul rings, but also increase the life of previous soul rings, reaching the limit of the soul rings that your current body can bear. Improving the lifespan of the soul ring can only be achieved by taking the divine test and receiving rewards from the gods. If the Chaos Green Lotus can continue to increase the life of the soul ring, when his body can withstand the 100,000-year soul ring, the Chaos Green Lotus will not only be able to breed the 100,000-year soul ring, but also the previous 1,000-year soul ring and the 10,000-year soul ring, all raised to 100,000 years. If he becomes a title Douluo, the Chaos Green Lotus martial spirit can reach the terrifying 900,000-year soul ring. 9 blood-red soul rings, so terrifying. But thinking that after Tang San took the divine examination, the Clear Sky Hammer spirit also had 900,000-year-old spirits, and the last deep-sea demonic whale spirit ring even reached 1,000,000 years. Thinking of this, Dai Yao was not so excited. The first soul skill of the Chaos Qinglian martial spirit is the God-killing spear, which can decompose all things and has extremely domineering attributes. What is the second soul ability? Dai Yao was confused. With a flash of thought, the second millennium soul ring lit up. The green lotus in the palm turned into dots of green light, which dispersed in the air. Immediately afterwards, green light spots scattered in the cave, gradually forming a green lotus shadow, shrouding Dai Yao inside. Dai Yao gradually came to a realization: this second soul skill can make oneself invincible, and no attack can break through the shadow's defense. Only when your soul power is exhausted can the enemy harm you. Amazing! Dai Yao exclaimed. With this trick, as long as he still has soul power, others will never be able to break through his defense. It's somewhat similar to Xiao Wu's invincible golden body, except that the invincible golden body has time and frequency limitations, while his second soul ability has no such worries at all. Chaotic Qinglian martial soul, 2 soul skills, one for attack and one for defense, both offensive and defensive. The first soul skill, Killing God Spear, can be described as extremely domineering, and the regular attack is by no means comparable to ordinary attack methods. The second soul skill is also very incredible. Xiao Wu's invincible golden body has exceeded the scope of normal soul skills, but it has time and frequency limits, while Chaos Qinglian's second soul skill's invincible state has no time limit. Dai Yao tried to calm down his agitated mood. Now with these 2 soul skills, he finally has a certain ability to protect himself, putting away his martial soul. He felt a little headache looking at the plants in the cave, so he simply ignored it, went back to the waterfall, and continued to temper his soul power, wait for Zhu Zhuqing's return, and then leave the Star Luo Empire together. Starry night, Dai Yao jumped out of the waterfall and returned to the wooden house. Ending the day's practice, he boiled water and prepared tea to quench his thirst. The smoke was curling up. Dai Yao raised his cup and drank the tea. Dai Yao felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. He curled up in pain, sweating. The tea is poisonous. He immediately identified the reason. Someone is trying to hurt me. Chapter 63 Assassination. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The severe pain left Dai Yao with no time to think. Within a few breaths after drinking the tea, the poison spread through his blood and throughout his body. The blood vessels under his skin were an eerie purple color. I want to play. He thought desperately. With a thought, the chaotic green lotus in the spiritual world sheds green light. Wherever the green light passes, all the poison immediately dissipates. The pain eased quickly, and the purple color on his face faded visibly. If it weren't for the sweat all over the floor and the constant panting, it would have seemed like the experience just now was a dream. Still not cautious enough. This experience sounded the alarm for Dai Yao. After defeating Dai Yaming, he became slack and thought that he was in no danger in Xingluo Academy. Never let your guard down. This sentence must be engraved in your bones. The enemy will not die in destroying us. A little more caution can save your own life. After the disaster, Dai Yao immediately became furious. Who on earth wants to harm me? The most likely one is Dai Yaming's mother. Dai Yaming was defeated by him and lost all hope of becoming a titled Douluo. She was eliminated in the competition for the throne, which can be described as a deep hatred. What's more, Dai Yaming's mother, as a royal concubine, can possess soul bones, and her relatives are also very powerful, so they are fully capable of doing this. The other is the queen, who has now become a major problem for Davis. The battle between him and Dai Yaming had just ended. He took this opportunity to poison and pin the charge on Dai Yaming's mother. In addition to Dai Yao, he can also frame his own competitors, which is a plan that kills 2 birds with 1 stone. These 2 people have the greatest motive for committing the crime. Although there are other possibilities, they are far less likely than these 2. Dai Yao touched his chin and paced back and forth, analyzing who had poisoned him. On the beam of the wooden house, a man whose whole body was hidden in the shadows was staring at Dai Yao in great surprise. He is the poisoner. You know, the poison he used was obtained from Jade Scale Douluo. The Jade Scale Douluo also became the Poison Douluo. In the name of poison, he became a titled Douluo. His knowledge of poison skills was extremely profound, and few people in the entire Douluo Continent could match him. How could his poison not kill a great soul master? The man in the shadow is named Zhu Tao. He is a member of the Xingluo Royal Academy team that won the championship. He has a soul power of more than 40 levels and is considered a genius among his peers. His more important identity is that he is a member of the Zhu family. When he returned to the academy, he was ordered by the queen to assassinate Dai Yao. The queen's surname is Zhu. As the wife of Emperor Xingluo, she has great influence in the Zhu family. But Zhu Tao would not obey the queen's orders. One of the important reasons why they were able to defeat Wuhandian was his soul bone, and his soul bone was given by the queen with certain conditions. Soul bones are the treasures that soul masters dream of. No matter how outrageous the queen's request is, he will agree without hesitation. If he was asked to assassinate the prince, he would assassinate the prince. Moreover, he is a member of the Star Luo Royal Academy team and can easily enter the academy. The academy is guarded by secret forces, and ordinary killers have no way of entering the academy. Zhu Tao noticed that Dai Yao huddled on the ground in pain at first, obviously affected by the snake venom, but for some reason he stood up again. Your Highness, I don't know what means you have to recover from the snake venom. But the Queen wants your life, and you will not be able to escape. Originally I wanted you to die peacefully, but now it seems I can't. He is an agility attack spirit master. His martial spirit is the Nether Shadow Leopard, a mutated martial spirit that is very suitable for assassination missions. His soul bone skill is an assassination skill, which troubled countless auxiliary soul masters in the Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite competition. I, a mighty soul sect master, will kill you like a chicken. Zhu Tao thought contemptuously. The soul power surged, and the martial soul possessed him instantly. The whole person seemed to be sneaking in the shadows, pulling out a long shadow in the air, and activated the soul bone skill Dark Night Stab. The powerful soul power pressure made Dai Yao unable to stand upright. Such a powerful soul power pressure. I'm afraid this person's strength has reached that of the soul sect. Dai Yao gritted his teeth to resist the pressure brought by his level. If he hadn't practiced under the waterfall all year round, he might have been lying on the ground at this time, unable to move. In fact, from the moment he recovered from the poisoning, his heart was in his throat. Since someone wants to harm him, they will definitely send someone to stay nearby to find out whether he died of poison, and the strength cannot be low. Otherwise he will discover it. The place of cultivation is in a remote location. Since he closed the door to thank guests, few people have come, and only Feng Wudong is around, but he didn't want to alarm Feng Wudong, otherwise the assassination would be revealed, and these people would definitely kill him and silence him, but they would kill Feng Wudong instead. All he can rely on is himself. After recovering from the poison state, he secretly mobilized his soul power and waited for the explorers who might arrive. Unexpectedly, this person not only reached the level of the soul sect in strength, but he also used his killer moves whenever he saw him, without giving him any chance to call for help. Facing the soul sect, the white tiger spirit has no power to fight back. Dai Yao was extremely calm in the life and death crisis. The dazzling cold light pierced towards him with the aura of death. Between the electric light and flint, a bright green lotus shadow suddenly bloomed, completely covering Dai Yao. When the cold light pierced the green lotus shadow, it seemed as if it had hit an iron plate and could not move forward even an inch. What is this? Zhu Tao thought in shock. The dignified soul sect and its soul bone skill was actually blocked by a great soul master. This was completely beyond his imagination. After the cold light hit the green lotus shadow, it gradually turned into starlight and disappeared. When he looked up, he found a green lotus appearing in Dai Yao's hand, and two purple soul rings slowly rotating. The second purple soul ring sparkled. 2,000-year soul rings. When will the great soul master be able to absorb the 1,000-year soul rings? Zhu Tao stared blankly at the Qinglian in Dai Yao's hand, and immediately reacted. No. You are a twin martial spirit, that he exclaimed. Before the assassination, he learned a lot about Dai Yao's information and knew that Dai Yao's martial spirit was the sacred white tiger martial spirit, a top-notch beast martial spirit, and now the Qinglian in Dai Yao's hand is obviously the second martial spirit. What evil have I done? Zhu Tao was about to cry, but he didn't expect that the person he assassinated actually had twin martial arts souls. Now that he has offended Dai Yao, there is only one way to end, and he cannot give Dai Yao a way out. As long as Dai Yao survives and grows strong enough, he will be the one who dies. From Zhu Tao releasing the soul bone skill to Dai Yao releasing the second soul skill Chaos Qinglian, it was just a few breaths. Dai Yao's soul power is not comparable to that of ordinary great soul masters, but even so, half of the soul power in his body has been consumed, which shows how much his second soul skill consumes soul power. The enemy in front of him took an offensive stance. Dai Yao's heart froze, thinking about the soul power in his body. He still had a chance to strike. The hope of survival lies in the first soul skill, God-killing gun. The PK was lost and the results were not good. The editor sent a notice today and it will be put on the shelves tomorrow. Originally, I planned to write more than 90 chapters before putting it on the shelves. I had already planned the plot and everything. I would put it on the shelves when I reached the climax, and the first order results would be better, but the unexpected happened so suddenly. I'm still reflecting on the shortcomings of this volume, and it's about to be released. Why, I didn't even make any preparations for depositing the manuscript. There are 2 normal updates on the shelves. It's not that I don't want to write more. I have to work on weekdays, so I can only write novels during my free time. The first 2 volumes are mostly original, and starting from the 3rd volume, it is the entry into the original work. Because it is an original work, it was a bit slow in the early stage and the results were not good, but I believe that the subsequent plot is exciting enough. I hope you can place an initial order tomorrow. The student gang members don't force others to do so. If you want to watch pirated copies, just watch them. I also came from my student days and know this feeling. In the end, no matter what your grades are, you won't be a eunuch, so don't worry about that. Testimonials. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yesterday I received a notification from the editor that it will be put on the shelves. It shouldn't have been put on the shelves so early, but there is no other way. If I lose the PK with the book of the same period, I have to put it on the shelves in advance. Originally, I planned to write 90 chapters, but when I reached the climax, my grades would be better. It doesn't matter now, just keep writing. Here, I would like to thank every reader who voted, followed up, and added to the collection. Because of you, Chunfeng can write here. Sincere thanks to you all. Chunfeng entered the society a year ago and found a pretty good job. Although the salary was not high, it was better than being free. I have read a lot of novels since I was a child, and the first one I read was DouluoDalu. When I was in 4th or 5th grade, I bought a set of physical books. Since then, I have been obsessed with novels. I read all kinds of novels, no taboos, especially the Douluo fanfic I read not long ago was discontinued before the Spring Festival, which made me angry. Then the idea of writing a novel came up. What I am most satisfied within the first 2 volumes is the moment when the 1000-year soul ring appears. I seem to have found my way into writing. By the way, I forgot to mention it, what I read the most are harem stories. This article must be a harem article. Harem article. Harem article. Say important things 3 times. Okay, I won't say much more. I hope you will place an initial order. Thank you all. Chapter 64 Deprivation of Soul Bones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It actually blocked my soul bone skill. Seeing Yez's thrust being blocked by Dai Yao, Zhu Tao froze and his eyes widened. He is the soul sect. Moreover, he was using soul bone skills, which would make him extremely fearful of even attack-type combat soul masters of the same level as him. In the elite competition of the All-Continent Advanced Soul Master Academy, he defeated countless strong people with this move. Now, such a powerful soul skill was actually blocked by a great soul master. What kind of monster is he? Zhu Tao felt deeply regretful, and regretted taking the queen's order. Not only did Dai Yao have twin martial souls, but he was also able to block the attacks of the soul sect when he was a great soul master. His talent is hard to find in the world. Now he has no choice but to kill Dai Yao. He looked at Dai Yao coldly and said regretfully, "Your Highness, you still hide the secret of twin martial souls. It's a pity that this secret will be buried forever." Ha! Hearing this, Dai Yao realized that the person in front of him was not a professional killer. Professional killers are taciturn when performing tasks, and they are killing machines that only complete their tasks. When this person killed him, he was talking too much, not like a professional killer. "Oh. Since I am already dead, how about you tell me who wants to kill me and make me understand?" While Dai Yao spoke, he did not dare to let down his guard at all. The soul power is already surging in the second soul ring. If something goes wrong, immediately use the second soul skill, and he's not only trying to find out who's behind the killer, he's also stalling for time. There are special night watchmen in the college to protect the safety of the college. Maybe they have noticed the movement here now. As long as he delays for time, he will have a chance to survive. Humph, it's okay for you to be a sensible ghost. Zhu Tao looked disdainful, and in his eyes, Dai Yao was already a dead person. He didn't believe that Dai Yao could continuously use the defensive soul skills he just had. Powerful soul skills required more soul power. When he was a great soul master, a soul skill that could defend against the attacks of the soul sect was definitely a top-notch one. Soul skills, his soul power must be almost exhausted now. hearing that Zhu Tao was about to tell the real murderer behind the scenes, Dai Yao was excited, but his face remained calm. The one who wants to kill you is. Just as Zhu Tao was speaking, a ray of light suddenly lit up in the distant sky, and then, an extremely huge breath of soul power hit the cabin. It was the night watchman of the college, and he was coming quickly. Damn it, you want to delay the time. Zhu Tao instantly understood Dai Yao's plan and said angrily. You will definitely die today. Just be a fool. That the soul power bloomed wantonly, and Zhu Tao was finally about to use the soul skill. The fourth purple soul ring on his body was shining, and the strong pressure of the soul skill made it difficult for Dai Yao to breathe. Just a little bit. Dai Yao thought to himself, it's a pity that the night watchman appeared at an inappropriate time. If it had been a few seconds later, he would have known the real culprit behind the scenes. Seeing Zhu Tao using his soul skills, he was not surprised but overjoyed. When a real killer misses a hit and is about to be exposed, he will immediately leave and look for the next opportunity to attack. But not only did Zhu Tao not think about escaping, but he continued to kill him, not like a killer at all. Zhu Tao's behavior confirmed Dai Yao's conjecture. If he was really a professional killer, he would have a headache, because the secret of his twin martial souls has been known to this person. If this person chooses to leave, the secret of his twin martial souls will be exposed, which will definitely cause endless trouble. He now has the ability to kill this person. Even if he is injured to some extent, he must keep this person here, and even if he is injured, he can recover through Qinglian. Before he had time to think about it, his soul power surged, and the first purple soul ring on the green lotus shone brightly. The first soul skill, the god-killing spear, that the green lotus in the palm quickly grows in size, and the rhizome turns into a spear shaft. The lotus and lotus leaves gradually close up to form the tip of the spear. After the green lotus turns into a spear, it looks very simple. Even the lotus and the spear tip made of lotus leaves are very dark in color, completely missing the fresh and green look of the green lotus. Seeing Dai Yao perform his first soul skill, Zhu Tao couldn't stop laughing. You still want to resist with your first soul skill blocking my fourth soul skill? That's ridiculous. Dai Yao was not affected by the words. After holding the god-killing spear, he fell into a wonderful state. It seems that what is in his hand is not a gun, but a rule. Decomposition rules. Just like the GM in normal games, with just a thought, he can destroy everything in front of him or even destroy the world. Of course, the effect of the god-killing gun is not that terrifying. Now in his eyes, the assassin in front of him seemed like an energy body. A human shape formed by blue light spots. Only the color of the left arm is different. It is black. If you look closely, you will find that the left arm is a mixture of blue light spots and black light spots, but the black is more conspicuous, so it looks black. What's that on his left arm? Dai Yao thought in confusion. He poured his soul power into the god-killing spear and activated the rules of decomposition. The blue energy body in front of him began to gradually disintegrate, and the fastest one was the left arm where the black light spot was. By activating the god-killing spear, the soul power in Dai Yao's body rapidly decreased at a speed visible to the naked eye. Zhu Tao, who was still performing his soul skills, suddenly stopped, covered his left arm in pain, and screamed. He found that the soul bone in his left arm was leaving his body. What kind of soul skill are you doing? He was writhing on the ground in pain, his teeth were almost broken, and every breath was exerting force throughout his body. The black light spot separated first, and a large hole appeared in Zhu Tao's left arm, which was covered in blood and flesh. A dark soul bone fell to the ground with a crisp sound. Go to hell. Dai Yao didn't talk too much nonsense, and stabbed the god-killing spear into the assassin's body in 3 steps. It was not blocked by anything, as if it had just pierced a piece of paper. In a flash of lightning, Dai Yao turned defeat into victory. Zhu Tao stared blankly at the spear inserted into his chest. He felt a force in his body tearing everything in his body. Following the spear, he saw the person holding the spear, and finally focused on the face of the person. Now he is extremely regretful. He has a bright future. He is a member of the Star Luo Royal Academy team, a genius soul master, destined to become a legend in the Star Luo Empire. Now he is dying, and all the bright future is gone. The unwillingness and regret in his heart overflowed his chest. He hated it so much. Why should you agree to the queen's request? Immediately afterwards, Zhu Tao's body gradually disintegrated, and his eyes, mouth, nose, and even flesh, 5 internal organs, and blood turned into dust bit by bit and scattered in the air. Dai Yao was also gasping for air, his whole body was exhausted, as if he had been fished out of water. The god-killing spear only appeared for a few breaths, but it consumed all his soul power. However, this price is nothing compared to the rest of the life. Chapter 65 Farewell to Xingluo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When he used the god-killing spear for the first time, he was so exhausted that he could only go back to the house on his stomach and lie on the bed for several days. After this use, I felt much better. I just felt weak all over and didn't have many side effects. It feels good to be alive. Dai Yao gasped for air, and even felt that the air was sweet. When he saw the dark bone, he thought of a word uncertainly, soul bone. Picking up the soul bone, he put it in his hand and looked at it. This is a left arm bone, held in the hand, exuding a cool breath, feeling the soul power surging inside this thing. Dai Yao was sure that it was a soul bone. It seems that the person who just assassinated used the soul bone skill in his first attack. Thinking that when Zhu Tao attacked him on the beam, there was no soul ring shining, and the attack was cruel and insidious, this soul bone skill should be an assassination soul skill. The huge soul power shook the trees in the entire forest, and Dai Yao realized that the night watchman was coming. Without any time to think, he immediately threw the soul bone into the lake and waited for the arrival of the night watchman. 10 breaths later, a figure appeared in the room. This is a man in gray robe, his whole person is covered in gray robe, no skin is exposed. Along with him came the vast soul power. The whole cabin was shaking, the doors and windows were wailing, and the cabin was about to collapse. The moment the man in gray robe came in, Dai Yao was immediately overwhelmed by the vast soul power and fell to the ground, unable to move. At this time, the gray-robed man realized the problem and put away his soul power. The man in gray robe didn't say a word. After Dai Yao stood up, he looked at it carefully for a while, then changed his eyes and started searching around the wooden house. Dai Yao watched the man in gray robe search everywhere in the house, and his heart collapsed. If it was discovered that he had just been assassinated, they would definitely investigate how he escaped the assassination and where the assassin was. He couldn't explain it. The assassin had turned into ashes, and he could not expose the secret of his twin martial souls. Master Night Watcher, do you have any business coming to my place tonight? Dai Yao took the tea cup and handed it to the man in gray robe, but the man in gray robe ignored him at all. Instead, he flew into the air and searched on the top of the house. He swept around first, and when he reached the beam, he immediately stopped, flew near the beam, stretched out his pale hand, and touched the beam. The action of the man in gray robe made Dai Yao's back feel cold. The beam of the room was exactly where the assassin had been. He suppressed his nervousness and said calmly, "Sir, Night Watchman, what's on the beam?" "Problem." The man in gray robe remained silent and flew out of the cabin. The huge spiritual power bloomed from the man in gray robe and enveloped the entire training place. When his spiritual power came into contact with the lake, Dai Yao clearly heard the man in gray robe say, "Hey." However, the gray-robed man's body paused in the air, and he just took a deep look at Dai Yao. His vast soul power instantly surged out, and he flew away far away. Inexplicable. The gray-robed man's series of actions made Dai Yao extremely confused. Looking at the appearance of the man in gray robe, he not only discovered that someone wanted to assassinate him, but also found the location of the soul bone. However, for some reason, he did not embarrass him and left directly. I can't figure out the attitude of the night watchman, so Dai Yao doesn't dare to take out the soul bone now. What happened tonight made Dai Yao even more uneasy. The thrilling assassination, the unclear attitude of the night watchman. Since he defeated Dai Yaming, the situation has become more and more dangerous. He desperately wanted to leave the Star Luo Empire. Zhu Zhuqing, hurry up, the time given by third uncle is getting closer and closer. If you don't come back, I'm afraid I won't be able to leave again. Just as Dai Yao was thinking, a fiery red figure fell beside him. What's wrong? I feel a strong soul power fluctuation here. Feng Wudong asked worriedly. Nothing, just performing soul skills. Dai Yao said perfunctorily with a smile. Use soul skills. Feng Wudong obviously didn't believe it. It's really nothing. Go to bed, it's not appropriate to be alone at this late hour. Dai Yao acted rogue. Bah! Feng Wudong blushed. You think I want to be with you? After the words fell, Feng Wudong summoned his martial spirit and flew towards his residence. Feeling the cold wind blowing, Feng Wudong felt a little disappointed in his heart. He knew that Dai Yao just wanted to drive her away. Well, with a sigh, she returned to the thatched house and looked out through the window. Under the bright moonlight, that figure stood alone by the pond, not knowing what he was thinking. The next day, Zhu Zhuqing finally returned to the academy. After seeing Dai Yao, a faint smile appeared on his cold face. He held Dai Yao's hand and said softly, I have obtained the second soul ring. Dai Yao stroked Zhu Zhuqing's hair as if he were stroking a kitten. He was already familiar with Zhu Zhuqing being by his side. After only being away for a few days, he felt a little uncomfortable. Thank you for your hard work. Dai Yao said. After a moment of tenderness, Dai Yao said, we will leave the Star Luo Empire tonight. So fast? Zhu Zhuqing said in surprise. Well, if you don't leave, you won't be able to leave. I'm going to notify Lan Yuxuan now and ask him to get ready. You go back and clean up immediately and leave the Star Luo Empire tonight. Seeing Dai Yao's serious look, Zhu Zhuqing realized the seriousness of the matter and nodded. The Nether Master's martial spirit possessed him and turned into a black afterimage, and his tall figure disappeared into the forest. Dai Yao went in the opposite direction. He wanted to find Lan Yuxuan. Night, under the cover of night, Dai Yao and Zhu Zhuqing walked through the teaching area and came to a remote entrance and exit of the college. This is the place agreed with Lan Yuxuan. Both of them were dressed very simply. Linen clothes worn by common people. Zhu Zhuqing changed out of the leather pants he had worn for several years. His proud body was covered in linen, and his appearance looked much more mediocre. The two of them were simply two commoners. When Dai Yao greeted Lan Yuxuan didn't even recognize him. You two disguised yourself so well, I almost didn't notice. Lan Yuxuan praised. Just now Lan Yuxuan was clearly scolding and wanted to expel Dai Yao and the others, but he did not expose Lan Yuxuan's lies and said straight to the point. How do we leave the Star Luo Empire? Lan Yuxuan took the two of them away from the academy and came to a huge open space. In the open space, 8 carriages were parked. There are a total of 8 carriages here. Your Highness will leave in one of them. The remaining 7 are for your cover. After understanding the arrangements of Wuguan Palace, Dai Yao felt relieved. 7 planes serve as a cover to ensure his safety to the greatest extent. As long as he leaves the Star Luo Empire, he will be able to fly like a fish in the sea and a bird in the sky. Thank you very much. I will always remember your kindness today. Dai Yao cupped his fists and thanked Lan Yuxuan. Lan Yuxuan was stunned. He didn't expect that a genius like Dai Yao would actually thank him. He suddenly lost his aristocratic manner and said, You're welcome, I'm just doing things for Wuguan Palace. Dai Yao helped Zhu Zhuqing onto the carriage that actually left, and then jumped on. The coachman whipped his whip and the horses whistled regularly. The carriage started slowly, passed through the streets, passed through the gates of the imperial city, and gradually moved away on the wide road. Only the cold moonlight shines on those who are far away. Everyone who sees this is a subscribed reader. Thank you all. Chapter 66. A Letter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This chapter describes Feng Wudong. You can skip it if you are not interested. The next day, Xingluo Royal Academy, the place where mimicry is practiced. Brisk footsteps could be heard in the forest, and the owner of the footsteps must be in a good mood. The fiery red figure danced in the forest, like an elf. It is Feng Wudong. She held the lunchbox in her hand, looked towards the waterfall not far away, and thought happily. Today is fried pork with green pepper, 2 vegetarian dishes, and a chicken soup. Dai Yao especially likes this. Zhu Zhuqing left Xingluo Royal Academy. The happiest thing was not the girls who had thoughts about Dai Yao, but her, but she knew that he was just a commoner and Dai Yao was the prince. It was impossible for the two of them to have separate identities. Moreover, her martial spirit is only Blazing Bird, which is pretty good among ordinary soul masters, but compared with the top martial arts in the soul master world, there is a big gap. Therefore, although she had a good impression of Dai Yao, she could only hide it in her heart and keep the distance between them. he even became brothers with Dai Yao, just to have a legitimate reason to be with him, but since Zhu Zhuqing left, no one has been responsible for Dai Yao's 3 meals a day. Dai Yao didn't know many people in the college, and he didn't want unfamiliar people to be responsible for his food, so this task was naturally given to Feng. Sycamore, of course, there will be some reward, although the reward is high. What Feng Wudong cherishes more is the moment of conversation when delivering food. That short time was the time she looked forward to most every day. There was a conversation in the forest, it was a few chattering girls. From their conversation, Feng Wudong knew that they wanted to meet the legendary Dai Yao. Snort. Feng Wudong thought dissatisfied. These vixens used to sneer at Dai Yao, but now they are all running here in a swarm. It's so shameless. But thinking of Dai Yao's cold attitude towards them, her face softened slightly. After throwing away these female students, Feng Wudong came to the place of cultivation. That she noticed that the figure that had been sitting under the waterfall for 3 years was gone, and she let out a soft sigh. Is it possible that he is in the cave behind the waterfall? That's right. Sister Zhu Qin came back yesterday. She usually practices in the cave. Only Sister Zhu Qin can make Dai Yao stop practicing. Feng Wudong thought bitterly, but she couldn't feel any jealousy. Zhu Zhuqing's beauty made her feel ashamed, although in the eyes of others, she is also a great beauty, but compared with Zhu Zhuqing, she is still slightly inferior. After several jumps, she came to the waterfall, and the water droplet splashed by the waterfall with the hem of her skirt. Dai Yao, Zhu Qing, I brought your food back, that she shouted, but there was no answer after the waterfall. She shouted a few more times, but there was still no movement in the cave. Why is there no reply? Could it be that they are not in a cave? Feng Wudong was hesitant, her voice was quite loud, even if it was blocked by the waterfall, it could be heard inside. It's just that the cave is private territory after all. Regardless of whether the owner is present or not, it is bad behavior to trespass on private territory. After much hesitation, the temperature of the lunch box in her hand was slowly decreasing. She gritted her teeth and walked through the waterfall. As soon as I entered the cave, I was shocked, there was no one in the cave. The previously cold and damp cave had turned into a primeval forest, with all kinds of trees growing crazily and hundreds of flowers blooming. How did this place become like this? Feng Wudong said in surprise, but she didn't pay too much attention to the strangeness of the cave. She looked around and found no one, then jumped out of the waterfall. Where did they go? Could it be that they were not practicing and doing that kind of thing in the room? They are only 9 years old. Feng Wudong shook his head vigorously to get rid of the evil thoughts in his heart. After several jumps, he came to Dai Yao's cabin, knocked on the door, no one answered. I'm coming in. She tried to push the door, but was surprised to find that it was unlocked. The wooden door slowly opened, her eyes became dull, her mouth slowly grew larger, the lunchbox in her hand fell to the ground, vegetables and rice were scattered on the floor, and chicken soup was flowing on the ground. There was no one in the house, and many things were missing, as if they had been stolen. I should have known better. I should have known this since Dai Yao stopped practicing under the waterfall. Feng Wudong felt bitter in her heart, knowing that Dai Yao had left. She had noticed Dai Yao's strange behavior in the past few days, but the joy of getting along with him overshadowed all of it. Now that this moment has come, all the abnormalities of the day before yesterday come to mind. As if he had lost his strength, he fell softly, leaning on the doorpost to prevent him from falling completely. The long, fiery red hair seemed to have dimmed, living up to its former glory. She stared blankly at the empty cabin, feeling sad. She knew that she couldn't reach Dai Yao, and Dai Yao had a beautiful fiancé like Zhu Zhuqing, so she could only bury her good feelings in her heart. But Dai Yao's silent farewell shattered her fiery heart. It would be nice to just give her a notice. Dai Yao's leaving without saying goodbye just showed that he did not regard Feng Wudong as a friend. Feng Wudong's enthusiasm for the past 3 years seemed to have become a joke. The gold coins in her pocket as a reward for bringing meals coldly exposed her poor performance. A noble, that's how a noble behaves, no mercy. I'm just a pariah, what are you thinking? Feng Wudong laughed, but tears flowed out uncontrollably. 3 years ago, when Dai Yao opened fire and pinched her neck with his cold hands, this man left an indelible trace in her heart. She patted her face. Be clear enough and don't be too wild. While slapping her face, she suddenly noticed a letter on the wooden table. Feng Wudong walked to the wooden table and picked up the envelope. There were a few words written on the envelope. Phoenix Wudong opens it in person. Seeing these words, Feng Wudong's mood suddenly changed from gloomy to sunny, and she became happy instantly. Thinking of the activities in my heart just now, I couldn't bear to look back. Opened the envelope and read, the sycamore trees are opened in person and burned after reading. Only you will come to the cabin, so this letter can only be read by you. By the time you opened this letter, Zhu Zhuqing and I had already left the Star Luo Empire and embarked on the road to the Tiando Empire. The matter is of great importance, so I forgive you for not revealing it to you. I can only leave you the letter after I leave. 3 years of getting along is better than family and friends. It's just a side effect of your mutated martial soul. You need to stay at the hot spring to suppress your inner fire, and you can't leave with us. Thank you for your companionship over the past 3 years. I will definitely help you find a solution to the side effects of your martial soul, but it will take some time. If you leave Star Luo Royal Academy, please leave your whereabouts. I will notify you when I find a solution. Finally, thank you, Wudong. At the end, Feng Wudong inadvertently smiled. Really, you little brat, you still pretend to be an adult, as if no one knows your age. Fool, how is it possible to cure the side effects of my martial spirit? Even the teaching staff of Xingluo Royal Academy cannot find a way. But I will keep your kindness in mind. Feng Wudong, who was feeling sorry for himself just now, completely disappeared. After packing up and cleaning the cabin, I came to the edge of the pool, facing the water, and combed my hair. The fiery red hair burned like a flame and hung on the back. After a while, Feng Wudong changed his appearance, and a beautiful figure was reflected in the lake, incredibly heroic. The most eye-catching thing is the ponytail combed high. Chapter 67 News leaked. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Star Luo Royal Academy, Vice Principal's office, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, Dai Hengyu was distressed at the document on the table where Dai Yaming dropped out of school. A black mist suddenly appeared, and then the black mist dissipated, and a man in grey robe appeared, kneeling on one knee. It was the grey-robed man who appeared at Dai Yao's house a few days ago. It turned out that the grey-robed man was not the night watchman of the college, but Dai Hengyu's shadow guard. Has Dai Yao left the city safely? Dai Hengyu lowered his head and asked. His Fourth Highness has left the city safely, and under the protection of the Spirit Hall, he can reach the Heaven Do Empire safely. The grey-robed man replied. In this case, remove our people, so as not to be discovered by the Queen's people. It will be difficult to explain. Dai Hengyu ordered. Yes, Your Majesty. Just as the grey-robed man was about to leave, Dai Hengyu remembered something and stopped him. What happened to Dai Yao a few days ago? Back to the prince. His Royal Highness was assassinated the night before yesterday. Huh? Why didn't you tell me? Dai Hengyu raised his head and asked in a much louder voice. My lord has paid so much for his Royal Highness, so I can't put myself in it. The grey-robed man lowered his head and replied. Dai Hengyu looked at the man in grey robe coldly and said, You have been with me for so many years and you know what my character is. Considering our friendship for so many years, if this doesn't happen next time, you can go back to Shadow Nest. The grey-robed men are the shadow guards who protect Dai Hengyu, and the Shadow Nest is where they are trained. The shadow guards are trained to be extremely harsh, and they are only loyal to one person in their life. When their master abandons them, they must return to the Shadow Nest and live there forever. Thank you, Your Majesty, for your kindness. The man in grey robe bowed his head deeply and said gratefully. He knew that this move was a bit over the top. According to Dai Hengyu's character, if he hadn't done it for Dai Hengyu's sake this time, he would have been abandoned by now. The royal family always looks at whether they are loyal or not, even if it is contra. If they are not loyal, they will be abandoned. Tell me about the situation at that time. Dai Hengyu revealed the matter without embarrassing the man in grey robe too much. Yes, Your Highness. Judging from the remaining soul power fluctuations, the Fourth Highness should have been attacked by a soul sect. Logically speaking, there is no reason for the Fourth Highness to survive. But not only did His Highness survive, the attacker also disappeared. Without a trace. And I discovered that there was a wave of soul power in the lake next to His Royal Highness's residence. According to my many years of experience, it was a piece of soul bone. Huh. Dai Hengyu's eyes narrowed and he thought secretly. It seems that Wuguan Palace attaches great importance to Dai Yao. He can actually allow the great soul master to survive the attack of the soul sect. He must be a valuable treasure. The little guy is also very cautious. He actually resisted the temptation of the soul bone and threw it into the lake. This way, I can rest assured that he will go to heaven. Dai Hengyu asked, have you ever said this to others? No. Then you bury these things in your belly forever. If I hear this news from elsewhere, you can go back to Shadow Nest yourself. Yes. The man in grey robe lowered his head and said. The college's security force is very strong. How did the assassin get in? Have you investigated in the past few days? Dai Hengyu asked. After investigation, according to the strength of the college, ordinary soul sects are not capable of breaking through the security of the college. I have investigated all the suspicious people in the past few days, and there is only one suspect. Oh. Who is it? Zhu Tao, the agility attack soul master of the Star Luo Royal Academy team. Dai Hengyu snorted coldly, Zhu Tao, Zhu. What a Zhu family. What a queen. She actually did some tricks under my nose. How dare you attack Dai Yao when you are in my position? In this case, please return this document indicating Dai Yaming's withdrawal from school and let him give Davis a little trouble. Immediately he ordered, although Dai Yao has left, the news blockade cannot be stopped. We can hold on to it as long as we can. The man in grey robe said, Your Highness, tomorrow is our limit. After tomorrow, the news that the Fourth Highness went to Wuguan Palace can no longer be concealed. Oh, just do your best. Dai Hengyu sighed. A few days later, the news that His Royal Highness went to the Star Luo Empire Spirit Temple could no longer be concealed. The fifth elder in the palace was the first to know the news. The dignified prince actually went to the Spirit Hall to register as a soul master. Doesn't it mean that the Star Luo Empire is inferior to the Spirit Hall? The fifth elder was furious. He immediately realized what Dai Yao wanted to do, and understood the meaningful smile of Bishop Ferdinand during the duel not long ago. What a good boy, you actually hid your intention to seek refuge in the Spirit Hall. And you even teamed up with that damn fat guy Ferdinand to lie to me. If this matter is easily exposed, how can I still be the fifth elder, that the prince is the face of the Star Luo Empire? The reason why the prince wants to join the Spirit Hall is because he has not done a good job in educating him. Go to Xingluo Royal Academy immediately and bring Dai Yao over. The fifth elder ordered his subordinates. His red hair is burning, representing uncontrollable anger. A few hours later, his subordinates hurried back without even having time to drink water. Elder, it's bad, according to the classmates of His Highness the Fourth Prince's college, he disappeared a few days ago. What? It seems that he had planned it. The fifth elder stood up suddenly, his strong body like a demon, making his subordinates tremble. The fifth elder looked like a rough man, but he was not stupid at all. He thought. Since he has been away for a few days, I only received the news. Someone is definitely helping him secretly. Wuguan Palace does not have such ability, so it must be someone from my royal family. That kid Dai Hengyu. We'll talk about Dai Hengyu's matter later. We must capture Dai Yao first. That the fifth elder knew that it was too late to use conventional power. Now he notified the Star Luo Emperor, and with the speed of the spread of the Emperor's order, Dai Yao might have already left the Star Luo Empire by the time it reached the border. For now, he has to go out on his own. Opening the map of the Star Luo Empire, he immediately judged several places where Dai Yao was most likely to leave. He ordered his subordinates, go and inform the royal family of the news, and I will personally intercept Dai Yao's rebellious nephew. That the subordinates broke out in cold sweat. You must know that when the fifth elder was young, he was the demon king of the mainland. He was not afraid of anything and everything, and he gained the reputation of a bloodthirsty demon tiger. Many people are frightened when they hear it. Although the fifth elder is cultivating himself in the palace, no one dares to look down upon him. He couldn't help but feel sad for Dai Yao. Being targeted by the bloodthirsty tiger will not bring any good results. In the palace, a ball of red flame suddenly burst out, jumped into the sky, and flew towards the distant sky. The entire sky was dyed red, as if the sky was on fire. The powerful soul power fluctuations caused countless people in Xingluo imperial city to fall to the ground and look at the sky in surprise. A strong man takes action. At the same time, Wuguan Temple. The fat bishop opened his eyes. It's a pity that Feng Wudong's original picture cannot be uploaded, and it failed to pass the review. It was said to be too sentimental. Chapter 68 Wuguan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a carriage driving on the official road, Dai Yao finished his practice, breathed lightly, and handed over a bottle of water. You must be thirsty. Zhu Zhuqing's face was cold, but what he said made Dai Yao's heart warm. Thank you. Dai Yao took a sip of water, opened the front door, and asked the coachman. Uncle, how far is it from Wuguan? Wuguan is a border pass away from the Star Luo Empire. It is neither the closest nor the farthest. The other 7 carriages left the customs on different roads, all providing cover for his carriage. The road he chose was inconspicuous. As long as the carriages on other roads provided cover, he could leave safely. It has been 10 days and 10 nights since we left the imperial city. Moreover, he worked day and night, changing horses and grooms with the help of Wuguan Palace every time he arrived in a city. This speed has exceeded the speed of a great Spirit Master level agility attack Spirit Master rushing forward with all his strength. The coachman was replaced in the last city, and now he was exhausted. He replied, it's almost. Just 1 more day and 1 night, and we will arrive at Wuguan. But old man, I can't hold it anymore. I have to change people in the next city. Excuse me, sir. Dai Yao thanked him. It doesn't matter, the reward given to me by Wuguan Palace is not low. It's enough for 1 gold soul coin. After completing this order, I won't have to worry about it for several months. The tired coachman said with a smile. A gold soul coin. Dai Yao suddenly felt a little ridiculous. For a soul master, a gold soul coin is just a few meals, but for a commoner, it is several months of living expenses. Get back in the carriage. The carriage is made of special materials that can lock sound and soul power and prevent it from being transmitted to the outside. According to Lan Yushuan, this was done by a certain noble specifically to do those things. Looking at the distant scenery outside the window, Dai Yao was both excited and worried. Going to a new environment will naturally cause worries. After going to the Tiando Empire, he could meet the characters in the original work, Huo Wu, Ning Rongrong, and the Tianshui girl group. Thinking of these, Dai Yao couldn't help but ripples on his face. What are you thinking about? Zhu Zhuqing looked at Dai Yao's expression and frowned. Although she didn't know what Dai Yao was thinking, it was definitely not a good thing. Dai Yao's expression was just like the way those lustful people looked at her. Brother Xian Yao, even though I'm by your side, I'm still thinking about other people. Zhu Zhuqing became sulky. Dai Yao immediately became serious. It's nothing, I just want to think about Feng Wudong again. Zhu Zhuqing was too lazy to expose him. He remembered the sentence mentioned in the letter and asked, what you wrote in your letter about helping Sister Wudong solve the side effects of Wuguan, is it true? Of course it's true. His solution was the coxcomb phoenix sunflower. In the original work, Ma Hongjun not only solved the problem of evil fire with the help of coxcomb and phoenix sunflower, but also lost a lot of weight and became much more handsome. Bird martial spirits with fire attributes, such as coxcomb, phoenix and sunflower, can also play a role. The Academy can't solve the side effects caused by the mutation of the civilian soul master's martial soul. How do you solve it? Don't make Sister Wudong sad. Zhu Zhuqing said worriedly. The mountain man has his own clever plan. Dai Yao smiled enigmatically. He touched Zhu Zhuqing's cat ears and said with a smile. You forgot, I can evolve your martial spirit, but I can't solve a side effect of your martial spirit. After saying that, he took out the dark soul bone from his arms. The soul bone exuded a cold breath and made his chest hurt from the cold. It was Zhu Tao's soul bone. He said to Zhu Zhuqing, "Zhu Qing, this is a soul bone. Its attributes are very suitable for you, so I will leave it to you." Soul bone. Zhu Zhuqing exclaimed, eyes widening, "As long as you are a soul master, you will naturally know how precious soul bones are. Even if they are not suitable for you, you will keep them and treasure them well." But Dai Yao threw a precious soul bone to her lightly. Even a real couple cannot be so grand. "Thank you." Zhu Zhuqing bit her lips and slowly uttered 2 words. These 2 simple words carried a huge weight. Although the 2 are an unmarried couple, their relationship requires mutual sacrifice. From the moment they met, all she did for Dai Yao were simple things, such as sending a lunchbox, folding a quilt and so on. But what about Dai Yao? Not only did he forgive her who wanted to assassinate her, but he also gave her his precious soul bones. During the last duel with Zhu Zhuqing, if Dai Yao hadn't arrived in time, she might have died. The emotional dedication of the 2 is completely unequal. This guilt made Zhu Zhuqing feel heavy in his heart. "Silly girl, what are you thinking about?" Dai Yao noticed Zhu Zhuqing's strangeness and comforted. "This soul bone is not suitable for me. I am taking a fierce and domineering route, and this soul bone exudes air conditioning when I carry it, giving people a cold feeling. Your martial soul is the master of darkness. Just right. And the most important thing is, this soul bone is only a few thousand years old. I don't like it." Dai Yao said domineeringly. Hearing Dai Yao's relief, Zhu Zhuqing burst out laughing. "Soul bones are so precious. You can't even look down on a 1,000-year-old soul bone. How many years does it take for a soul bone to catch your eye? At least 100,000 years. Anyway, only Zhu Zhuqing could hear it, so Dai Yao made up nonsense casually. Nonsense. Zhu Zhuqing covered his mouth and chuckled. However, in the original work, most of Tang San's soul bones are 100,000 years old, and the torso bones of the deep-sea demonic whale are even 1,000,000 years old. With such a careless king, Dai Yao's words are not nonsense. Dai Yao's funniness adjusted the tense atmosphere in the carriage, and even the soul master would feel exhausted after traveling day and night for 10 days. But even though Dai Yao tried his best to ease the atmosphere in the car, the shadow in their hearts would not dissipate without leaving the Star Luo Empire. Time flies. In a blink of an eye, we arrived at Wuguan. Wuguan is about 20 feet high. When you come close, you can't see the sun. When you look up, the thick city wall has a deep color, recording the passage of time. Countless Jindo people have left their lives here. Outside the city wall, the dark red blood stains have been continuously washed away, forming a special color. Although inconspicuous, you can always feel an evil spirit when you pass by. At this time, the gate was still open, and soldiers in chain mail carefully checked the people and carriages coming and going. These soldiers were experienced in many battles, and their murderous aura was so thick that no one, no matter how arrogant, could become arrogant in front of them. Opening the door of the carriage, the soldiers looked inside the carriage. There were only 2 civilian-looking children, and they let them go with a wave of their hands. "Let's go." The groom had changed. He waved his whip, and with a sound, the wheels rolled. Passing through the doorway, the originally dark field of vision slowly lit up, not only his field of vision, but also his heart yearning for freedom. Finally left the Star Luo Empire. Dai Yao sighed in his heart, hugged Zhu Zhuqing and kissed him hard. Zhu Zhuqing's face suddenly turned red, but just as they were not far away, the sky over the Star Luo Empire suddenly lit up. Chapter 69 Captured. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sky in the Star Luo Empire suddenly lit up, like a fire. The fiery red color suddenly spread, and the entire sky burned. Huge pressure suddenly came, and a figure appeared in the sky and slowly landed on the top of Wuguan City. The powerful soul pressure made everyone unable to stand upright. The birds are scattered and the beasts are roaring. Even the horses in Dai Yao's carriage were frightened and hoofed. If the driver hadn't tried his best to control them, they would have run away from the official road long ago. But the guards at Wuguan endured the pressure of their souls, tried their best to control their emotions, and pointed at the figure at the top of the city. Who is here? This is Wuguan, and you are not allowed to be presumptuous. The figure at the top of the city glanced appreciatively at the soldier who spoke. Yes, they are soldiers from our star Luo Empire. I am the fifth elder of the Dai family. In the name of the great emperor, I will blockade Wuguan from today on. There is an important person today I'm defecting, please help me. The fifth elder had already run through several checkpoints non-stop and found several empty carriages. He immediately realized that those carriages were hiding things from others. The carriages that Dai Yao actually left were not these. After sealing those passes, he immediately rushed towards several other passes that Dai Yao might pass through. Wuguan was the last pass he arrived at. After the fifth elder showed the golden edict, the soldier shouted, "Close the city gate." The city gate weighing dozens of tons slowly closed with a bang, completely cutting off the road to the Tiando Empire. Looking at the busy soldiers, the fifth elder touched his beard and snorted coldly, "You brat, all roads are blocked by me. Let me see where you run." Seeing the strange thing behind them, all the people and carriages who had just left the border speeded up and rushed to the Tiando Empire. Those who live in Xingluo return to Wuguan and wait for the next switch. From the moment he saw the vision on the horizon, Dai Yao became uneasy. When he saw the figure falling on the top of the city, he secretly thought that it was not good. That was none other than the fifth elder. He urged the coachman to calm down the horses and leave here as soon as possible. The fifth elder looked at the chaotic crowd in the distance and asked the soldiers around him, "Have those people checked? Is there anyone special? Who are you referring to in particular?" The soldier asked. "A child of 9 or 10 years old." "Yes, there are a few children, all looking like civilians." "Is there a boy and a girl?" "Have." "Where?" The soldier pointed to the carriage where Dai Yao was. "Where is it?" The huge soul power suddenly bloomed, and the surging air waves gathered dust and fallen leaves, forming a circle and spreading rapidly around. The people leaving were covered in thick dust, screaming and coughing from time to time. Just hearing a thud, the air seemed to be torn apart, and the fifth elder turned into a stream of light and flew towards the direction of the carriage. In the blink of an eye, he went from the top of the city to the sky above the carriage. "Good boy, you told me it's easy to find. Come back with me." The fifth elder said sternly. The huge soul power pressure was poured accurately into the carriage. Dai Yao and the two men let out a scream and fell to the ground, with the powerful soul power pressing on them. Unable to move, the coachman spat out blood and passed out. The legs of the two horses were broken and fell to the ground, letting out feeble whines. The fifth elder exerted more force, and the carriage exploded with a bang, sawdust flying, revealing 2 9 or 10-year-old children. Dai Yao was lying on the ground, as if a mountain was weighing on his body, unable to get up at all. He felt bitter in his heart. He had tried his best. 8 carriages were used to distract attention, and they worked day and night for more than 10 days without stopping for a moment. Even for eating and sleeping, they were all solved in the carriage. He had done everything he could, but even after he got out of seclusion, he was still discovered by the fifth elder. He felt bitter and desperate in his heart. Am I really unable to escape the fate of the White Tiger family? Under the strong pressure, Zhu Zhuqing was in great pain. Dai Yao raised his head and looked at Zhu Zhuqing apologetically. "I'm sorry, it was me who hurt you." Zhu Zhuqing was obviously in pain, but a smile appeared on his lips. "No, the 3 years I spent with you were my happiest time." The fifth elder in the sky snorted, held his fingers empty, and Dai Yao and Zhu Zhuqing were lifted into the air. "You dare to violate the clan rules. Are you tired of living? Come back with me and reflect in front of the monuments of your ancestors. If you have a good attitude, you still have a chance to survive. The Forest of Steels is a place where family sinners are dealt with. Common sinners reflect in the Forest of Steels. As long as they have a good attitude, they have a chance to regain their freedom." But the two people in front of them looked as if they were resigned to their fate and were being slaughtered, but they couldn't help but feel a little doubt. "Don't you have anything to say?" "What can I say?" "Fifth elder. Since everything has fallen into your hands, other than reflecting in the Forest of Steels, it is a dead end." "Do I have any choice?" Dai Yao said with a sneer. "It's just that I have a request. You are not qualified to raise conditions now. You are a sinner of my White Tiger family. The fifth elder said angrily, Dai Yao was obviously so talented that even if he failed in the competition for the throne, he would keep Dai Yao, but why did Dai Yao choose to leave the Star Luo Empire? Fifth elder, please let Zhu Zhuqing go. She is not a member of my white tiger family. The rules of the family cannot be ignored by her. Dai Yao lowered his head. Before the fifth elder could reply, Zhu Zhuqing's eyes widened and he asked Dai Yao, I am your fiancé, why am I not from the Dai family? Dai Yao had a headache as soon as he said this. He had never seen Zhu Zhuqing so excited before. Don't make trouble. We're already in this situation. Why bother with this? That the quarrel between the two made the fifth elder have a dark look on his face. It was obviously a life-and-death moment for the two of them. Why did it become like this? He was not here to eat dog food. That's enough. You, Dai Yao, are also lucky to have a wife like Zhuqing. She is right. Since she is your fiancée, she is a member of my Dai family. Even if she dies, she is still the ghost of my Dai family. Dai Yao felt bored when he heard about this Dai family and that Dai family. Who wants to be born in your Dai family? After so many years of suffering, where is the Dai family? He looked at Zhu Zhuqing with a wry smile. Why are you bothering? If you have the chance to leave, why do you have to ask for trouble? Going to the family forest of monuments will definitely not lead a good life. Zhu Zhuqing smiled sweetly, without the coldness of the past at all. Since I am your fiancé and share the blessings and hardships, how can I abandon you? That the fifth elder is known as the bloodthirsty tiger, who uses thunderous methods on outsiders, but is extremely tolerant towards his own people. Even if Dai Yao wanted to leave and defect to Xingluo, he still wanted to bring Dai Yao's thoughts back. He looked at Dai Yao and patiently warned. After going to the forest of steels, reflect on your mistakes. The family will never make mistakes. As long as you change your mind, I will preserve your chance to compete for the throne. After hearing what the fifth elder said, Dai Yao's heart sank to the bottom. It was precisely because I could no longer stay in the Star Luo Empire that I decided to leave. This time I went back and was not seeking death. Just listen to what the fifth elder said. Davis really used clan discipline to discipline him and beat him to death, and the fifth elder couldn't say a word. The fifth elder abides by the rules, but the rules also constrain him. There is no other way but to expose the twin martial souls. Dai Yao looked up at the sky, despair filling his heart. Is there really no other way to go? But at this moment, a familiar force suddenly came from his palm, which he had seen in Wuguan Temple. That is the power of Platinum Bishop Ferdinand. Chun Fom has his own job, so he can only write novels during his free time. I saw 2 reader friends say that 4,000 words is too little. Actually, I think so too. These few days are still 4,000 words as usual. I will save up manuscripts first, and I will have 6,000 words a day for the next month.